You may have heard of this game recently called Warzone, I think is what it's called. Yeah, something like that. But if you're interested in playing some Call of Duty Warzone, essentially what this game is Call of Duty's version of a battle royale. The entire idea of the game is basically you spawn in and be the last one alive. Pretty simple, straightforward process, but this game boasts over 100 million registered accounts, has crossplay, and it's free. So it's really no mystery why this game has gotten so popular. But let's dive into this game and go over some really quick basic beginner guide on how to get you guys started as quickly as possible so you start fragging out. Depending on what platform you're on, it's a fairly simple process. All you need to do is hop onto the PlayStation Store, type in Warzone, and it's right there. Same goes for the Xbox Store. However, PC is a little bit different. You're going to navigate to battle.net, download that. Once you have that launcher, go ahead and make your Call of Duty account, and then, play the game. So the goal in Warzone is to drop in with 150 people and be the last one to survive. As the rounds go on, gas will engulf the map. Contracts reward the team with items, cash, or other benefits like we'll talk about later with the recons. Now, Warzone's a little bit different than most other battle royales in that you can set a loadout for your gameplay. Now, you don't spawn with this loadout as you need to loot up and get what you need, but eventually you can go ahead and buy this loadout or get a free one. So it's really worth setting up before you can get going in the game. There are a few modes on Warzone that people really like to play. It's either going to be the Verdansk version of just Battle Royale solos, duos, trios, or quads. We also have Rebirth Resurgence, which is one of my favorite modes, as when you die, you come back if your team is still alive. Or you have Plunder, which is a cash grab type game. It's an excellent mode for learning the basics of this game, learning new areas, learning the mechanics of Warzone and how it works. Plunder is absolutely worth playing if you're a new player. But since you've got the mode in mind that you want to play, let's take a look at the squad fill and look for party menu. So squad fill allows you to, obviously, fill your squad. If you're playing quads and you don't want to go solo against quads, make sure you have fill on so you get some randoms. Looking for party, here you can go ahead and set different attitudes, mic, no mic, things like that. That way you can find ideal partners for your gameplay for the day. Next up, we have XP tokens. So the XP tokens are absolutely worth paying attention to. The double XP tokens really offer you the ability to level up your guns quickly and a little more efficiently than without them. Obviously, it's 2 times XP, right? So leveling guns is significantly faster and easier. Now, mind you, while these are going, whether your game is on or off, the timer will count down. So only set these if you're going to be playing for that allotted amount of time. If you're somebody that's trying to chase leveling up for skins or things like that, be sure to check out the daily challenges. These offer calling cards, charms, things like that. Seasonal, daily, and mastery challenges are there for your taking for free XP basically to just run right through. But now that you have a basic understanding of the menu itself, let's take a look at some weapons and some loadouts and how we set these loadouts. So on the top menu, go ahead and hit weapons, edit loadout, and now you have primary, secondary, perks, lethals, and tacticals. Now, the ideal loadout here is going to be probably whatever the meta AR is, as you can see on screen at the moment. But ideal loadouts are going to include Overkill perk and perk 2, Tempered, Ghost, High Alert, all very viable perk 2 options. I would also make the suggestion to have a fully loaded kit. So what this is going to allow you to do is to, when you die, come back to a loadout that has full ammo and decent guns so you can get right back into the fight. So now that we're into the game, let's take a look at the health, ammo, guns, minimap, all the HUD stuff that we need to have a discussion about. So as far as health goes, in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you'll see a white bar. That white bar is your flesh health. Above that, you'll have 3 blue bars, or 2 yellow bars, depending on what your perks are. Is with all 3 plates, or 2 plates if you have tempered, it's going to be 250 health. So 50 health per plate, or 75 per plate with tempered. Keep that in mind and keep an eye on your plate stack next to your health and armor. On the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, you'll notice you have your ammo, your guns, and your lethals, tacticals. All that stuff that you need to know about is going to be here. So this is going to tell you how much ammo you have, what guns you're using, and all that good jazz. Just kind of keep in mind and be aware of what's going on here at all times. Just above your ammo and guns, what you're going to see is the field upgrade or kill streak. So this is where you have the trophy system, or dead silence, or you have the loadout marker will actually go ahead and sit. So just kind of keep that in mind, and be aware that you can only carry one field upgrade or kill streak at a time, so be sure to pick it back up when it drops. In the center of your screen, as you're shooting people, you're noticing some hit markers. These hit markers are just hash marks. These hash marks eventually turn into a shield icon, or white, blue shield, depending on what's going on. White shield means the enemy still has shields. Blue means you broke their shield and now you're hitting flesh. No shield indicator means you're hitting flesh. Now, hopefully, you get it down here, and you'll see this little icon right here. It's important to note on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen where the kill feed is that you look out for a team wipe icon or message, just so that you have an idea that you obviously wiped the team around you. Next up, we have our minimap. So the minimap is something you really need to pay attention to. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll notice that your minimap gives you all sorts of information. Now, it's important that you go into the settings menu and set this as square, as you get 27 to 28% more viewing area of your minimap to give you more information. Now, on rebirth, when you get a actual elimination, it'll pop up with the enemy's location on your minimap to give you more information than you could ever get without paying attention to this super important aspect of the game. When it comes to the gameplay itself, really there's a few different paths. So we have the early game, the mid game, and the end game. So in the early game, your goal here is to gain up. Get your loadout, get to the buy station, and be ready for a fight. This is most ideal with scavenger contracts. Scavenger contracts, basically you go to 3 supply bins, pick up money, armor, and some decent guns. Supply run. So the supply run, you pick that up, and it will take you to another buy station. That buy station will then give you a free self-revive, so that's absolutely important if you're trying to regain. But let's say you're all ready to go, you got guns, you got your loadout, and you're ready for a fight. Pick up that bounty, gives you enemy information on like where the squad is, as well as a bunch of extra cash to buy more UAVs and keep pushing. And finally, we have the recon. If you're not much of an aggressive player and you're just facing for wins, go ahead and grab some recon contracts. This gives you information on the next circle, or all circles if you're willing to run multiple recons, as well as giving you cash to get you set up for UAVs, kill streaks, things like that. But in the early game, essentially what we're going to do is get money for a loadout, UAV, and a self-revive. These are the 3 things we absolutely need to win this game. So our goal here is going to be to run some supply runs, a scavenger contract, and then we should have more than enough for a loadout, a free self-revive, and a UAV. Now that we're loaded up and ready to go, we can either go bounty hunting or do some recons. So the way that I would do this is I would more than likely run a recon or 2, have some information on the circle, and then maybe run a bounty if I want to try to get some kills. However, you can also position yourself for the end game here. Positioning absolutely wins games and is absolutely critical to being, the winner in this situation. So using recon will allow you to have an idea where the enemy circle is going to end up and where the enemies have to push from. Most of this game is just learning positioning and learning how to outwit your opponent. Warzone is a fairly simple game once you break it on down, but this is just a very quick overview of how this game is played and how we get into it. If you guys are interested in a more in-depth video, I've got a couple more things coming that I want to talk to you guys about in this series. So be sure to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys around.